What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily, your source for daily tech news. Make sure you're subscribed so you know what's going on in the world of tech. How is everyone doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm having a pretty good day so far. I did all my walking already. It's a little bit later than I have been recording this news video, so I'm a little bit more energized. And we got some cool stories. A new phone that's going to be coming out. We're going to talk about that. So without further ado, let's jump into the tech news. First is about the Google Pixel 7 and another render created by the fine folks over at Let's Go Digital, showing off this Google Pixel 7 5G with its 6.3-inch OLED display. It is expected to launch in the second half of 2022, probably in around September or October. It's usually October, but it might get pushed up a month. And based on this, it's going to have that same design as the previous generation, but the camera, at least on the left-hand side, will look a little bit different on that little black bar there. That will house all the camera components and the flash and all that stuff on there. But otherwise, you're getting a very similar design, very similar look, and hopefully a very similar price tag. The price tag on the Google Pixel 7 at one point, it might be cheaper now. I haven't really been following it too much, but right when it came out, $599 for the base version of the Pixel 7. Incredible deal. Next up is about a new phone coming out from the folks over at Nothing. Yeah, that's right. It's called Nothing is the company. They've already put out some earphones, some see-through earphones, and now they're taking the next step to putting out a phone. Now, who is Nothing? It's run by Carl Pye, who is of fame and helped run OnePlus at one point, and now he's running Nothing. And they have a new phone coming out this summer, 2022, and it's going to have a Snapdragon processor. We don't know a lot about it. It seemingly will have a very traditional phone design, meaning that it's going to be a candy bar slab phone with a camera on top of the display. Great specs. It's supposed to not have a lot of pre-installed apps. It's going to have this kind of design on here in terms of it being very minimalistic, but then having like an LED dot look to it with some of the icons and widgets and times on there. And ultimately, you will be able to take advantage, I believe it's in April, be able to download their launcher for some Android phones. Not all Android phones, but some Android phones will be compatible with their launcher, so you can get a basic idea of how the phone will be. And then what would you expect in terms of price and specs and all that? Well, it's probably going to take a lot from what we took with the original OnePlus phones back in the day, the OnePlus 1 and 2 and all those phones where they had pretty good specs and a really incredible price. And I expect something very similar where they have really, really good specs and a really good price. Maybe not $300 cheap for like a flagship phone that they're gonna put out, but something probably it's very competitive, if not a little bit cheaper than their competition. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. We'll see how it pans out. I assume they'll probably have some kind of invite system, which is a pain in the butt, and they'll have some kind of annoyances in terms of getting the phone. It'll probably be a short supplied, annoying to get. I mean, there's going to be things that are going to be bad about it, trust me, in terms of the actual getting it in your hands. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It's always good to see competition come up. And will this phone be easily accessible at your carrier? Probably not, but you'll probably be able to buy it directly from them at some point. And the last story is this. You can see from the headline from Sam Mobile, who says Samsung delivered the worst Exynos flagship in recent times. Now, I don't have the Exynos version of the Galaxy S22 Ultra. I have the Snapdragon, and I know a lot of you have the Snapdragon too, but the problem is I've heard bad things about people that have the Exynos one in terms of performance, you know, bugs. Both phones kind of have bugs, but bugs, performance, and that kind of leads off to what they're talking about of it being one of the worst experiences they've had in a recent flagship phone with an Exynos processor. And I want to throw it back to you guys. Do you think it's one of the worst phones that Samsung has put out of a flagship phone in recent memory? Let me know in the comments down below, especially if you have the Exynos version. I think people with the Snapdragon version like myself are pretty happy with it for the most part, but let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. With that said, let's get into the Q&A portion of the video and drop that beat. First question comes from New York's finest. Someone may have asked this question before. My battery seems to be draining way faster since the March update. Around the time I'm usually around 60 to 70% life, but now I'm at 35%. Has anyone experienced this issue after the March update. It's probably gonna be that it was a big update, and hopefully it's just the problem of your Samsung phone kind of learning how you use your phone, and that will work its way out in about a week or two. If not, I personally haven't seen too many people say it, but I haven't been searching for it either. But if you have problems with the battery, let him know in the comments down below. Next up is Goon Squad says, question. Okay, I got the One UI 4.1 update on my Fold 3 yesterday, so I turned the RAM to 6 and it was killing my battery. I had to change it back down to 4. Are you having the same problem when you change your RAM? I haven't even gotten the update yet, I don't think. I can't remember where you live. I have the unlocked version. Let me just check to see if I have the update. It's checking right now, but I don't have the update, so I can't tell you, yes, my battery has been different on there. But again, if you have issues with that, just like Goon Squad, let them know in the comments down below. Dennis says, I'm planning to buy this. Just one question. Can you find the vibration while on your pocket? I read rumors that you just can't feel the vibration that way. So if you're talking about the Galaxy S22 Ultra, just turn the vibrations up like I did. I did a video recently, very recently, in the last week or so. So check for that video and that'll walk you through the vibrations and getting it more intense. Shajil Cezanne says, how come the S22 Ultra takes almost the same amount of time to charge as the Tab S8 Ultras, but it having over 2 times the battery size? I think it all has to do with how much room there is to breathe within the tablet. It's probably not as condensed as a phone does, so the phone will heat up a little bit more, slowing down the battery charge, because you're not charging at 45 watts from 0 to 100. It slows down as it gets closer to 100. Obviously the tablet probably does that too, but it probably does it at a point where it probably starts slowing down later into the cycle of it being closer to 100. And our last question comes from Ari. Says, I have a Tab S8 Ultra and the Samsung 65 watt charger, which supports super fast charging. Unfortunately, the 65 watt charger doesn't have the included cable. I'm using the included cable with the S8 Ultra and I'm not getting Supercharge 2.0. Samsung was no help. Can you try your 45 watt charger with a cable? So basically, I'm not gonna read the whole thing. You do need a different cable, because the cable, you'll notice between, especially the 25 watt and the 45 watt cable is much thicker. So you got to get one of those specific cables. You should be able to find one on Amazon if you can't find one on Samsung's site, and go from there. Thanks so much for your questions. If you have a question, leave it in the comments down below with the word question, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.